not you, Patrick.
The new one is more pampered and Whitney than the Beverly Hills Chihuahuas.
Not easy to find a name for either.
But Puppy is the one dog who is his own man.
Lovely.
It's a Chihuahua.
And if that's someone to look inside your ears, I would be most honored.
How many of you have seen this movie before? It's like everyone has seen this movie.
Yeah.
So do you need me to?
I mean, if you want, I'm just more or less having like veteran, like you know.
Now,
Yes.
the most pampered dog in Beverly Hills is 1,000 miles from home.
Notice she's separate from her parents in a minute, right? And she's meeting evil,
And his crew.
and she has a wise mentor.
That's off the leash.
I'm gonna kick some tail. Nice face.
Is that an ethnic slur?
Almost like I mean, it's
Home
almost kind of like
Pictures presents.
it's fun.
That's the mentor, by the way. And
All time.
Chloe, and that's a mythical name, by the way. Chloe fights. Who's the evil dog that she ends up fighting? Diablo, which is the devil. Yes?
Yeah.
And she sacrifices herself for her friends by attacking Diablo despite the fact that she's a cute little chihuahua that doesn't speak Spanish, right? And
No, change it before number 250.
Oh. Thanks for that.
I can only do it.
So
Enough is enough.
she attacks Diablo and dies on a rock in a cave where a light shines on her and she resurrects.
Whereas,
She's okay. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so what's so scary about this? Kids, all of them, see this movie and watch it without realizing that it's depicting the life of Jesus as a chihuahua. So when you're old enough and you think, hey, Jesus is a chihuahua, Chloe, and you think, wow, who's going to believe in that story? That's just a comedy, right? For kids. You see, this is quite a scary movie if you think of it that way. However,
isn't like, I don't know if you know about anime, but isn't like Dragon Ball Z the same kind of synopsis? Like the main character.
Go to resurrection.
Yeah, he like full reses like every other season or so.
Or Superman.
Or Superman, yeah, he died a couple of times, hasn't he?
Yeah.
so the real question is, what movie that's been a blockbuster movie is not based on this?
None of them, or at least not a good chunk of them. I mean, there's a couple, but all those ones are like the main character just dies and stays dead. So.
Jumanji.
Too much.
Jumanji?
Which one? Oh, yeah.
The kids are separated from their parents?
Well,
Yeah.
if we're talking about the one with Kevin Hart, Dwayne,
Oh, I haven't seen that.
they
one.
don't have parents to be separated from.
Well, separated.
They are separated from the real world. They're
Never
bunch
mind.
of different.
I take that back.
Maybe Dora the Explorer.
This is an interpretive skill,
No, like the movie that came out, The Lost City of Gold. She literally got kidnapped. Her parents got kidnapped. She whatever.
Exactly, so that's the follow.
Okay, well, I thought that was okay. Sure. What? It's like a
Cinderella.
Her father's dead.
dead though.
Oh, her mother's dead, and her father marries a stepmother. So there's clearly no. What are we doing though? We're taking
Okay, so maybe not Disney
a
movies.
template, and you can just fit
Mars
everything.
Attacks.
Blade Runner?
There are stories that are not following a hunting narrative,
Haunted. Oh, yeah.
right? going out, you know.
Oh, yeah, scary. Oh, Evil
Rowing.
Dead series. That's
I'm
probably.
rowing, I'm rowing, I'm looking, there, I find one, right? Yeah, I'm catching, you know, and then I kill it, you know, and I bring it in. And that's the story, right? And so, what is it? It's a hunting narrative. It teaches you how to hunt. But, and by the way, that's the Greek story that becomes, I mean, you follow the template of a hunting narrative from ancient, you know, languages all the way up to contemporary narratives, because it's the template of the hunting narrative, which is the same everywhere you go. It just changes because of the animal that you're hunting, the skills that you might need in a particular environment, and how that story is presented, you know, etc. So this is fascinating, but how does that apply to religion? If religion doesn't follow such a narrative, no one really finds it very interesting. I mean, you know, the biological narrative, yes, Ellie.
The Buddhism kind of that?
I think it does. I think it fits. I mean, you could easily put that into the template. You're born into the world. You know, you're offered all these different evil alternatives, none of which are true, until you yourself reach a mentor who helps you learn the way,
Yeah.
and then you eventually compete against these by being saved, in a sense. Yes. So I think you could fit that. But the science narrative, you know, what's the whole point of the narrative? You're born, you procreate, and you die. Go ahead, Doug.
Oh, no, I was gonna ask,
Well, atheism is a religious narrative in my definition. You can't escape it, because unless you're, well, let me do this, I suppose. It's the easiest way to get there. I have, you know, all kinds of crap on the web, you know, that I can use. Where is it though? I haven't used it for a long time. My goodness. I don't see it. Where did I hide it? On the front page. Okay, but that's, I want to go to particular one. Where is it? CMAP. That's what it is. Sorry it's so messed up, but there you go. This is my cognitive map, CMAP. And what is a cognitive map? This is kind of a technique where you take difficult abstract ideas and you physically put them on a map so that you can like see the relationships between them. Other way, there's programs you could use. Some of them are absolutely ridiculous because you put thousands and thousands of concepts on there, and then you go, you know, AI, map this for me, and you're like, how is this useful? Because it isn't actually. But if you keep it slim, you know, it seems to work pretty well. And so this is my cognitive map. map. We're born, this is birth up here, and notice that this is the side that is the self, this is the community, this is certainty, and this is uncertainty. So basic four directions, so to speak, that, you know, north, east, west, you know, etc. When we're born, we don't know anything. Not necessarily a blank slate, as we'll talk about when we get to John Locke and others, but we have basic needs, etc., and mom hopefully satisfies them for us, right? So when we're hungry, she feeds us. When we're uncomfortable, and she gives us a dad, you know. That could have been funnier, but okay, I'll have to work on that one. Self, you know, we're totally focused on the self as an infant, because we don't have any concepts yet of otherness. We have to we have to learn that kind of stuff, right? But we go on a trail. You know, kind of, this is our monolith, in a sense, and we're following hopefully the course of certitude. You know, mom and dad and peers and children don't beat you up too often, but teach you words. You know, stuff your head in the toilet. No, hopefully not. You know, all those kinds of things that lead you on a trail towards certitude. So you get at least middle school. When does that happen to you? High school, where suddenly now people ask you questions like, if God is all powerful, can He create a rock that's too heavy for Him to lift? Or if the sun blew up, you know, how long before Earth would just go off into space? Hard questions that, you know, we can't really answer. And you begin questioning authority, questioning science, questioning religion, questioning. So if you're American, you should be drawn by your educational establishment this way, towards uncertitude, right? Questions that you can't answer. And as you come down this way, you have dangers. If you lose your contact with others, you need others, you need community. Charles Murray, for example, says, what do you need to be successful? You need to be industrious, you need to be honest, you need to be married and stay married, and you have to be, did I say honest? Is it honest? Industrious, honest, married, and attend church at least once a week, or so. Doesn't matter which one. The thing is that you're part of a community that depends on you. It's your turn to bring the casserole, and you have to show up, and you have to get up in the morning, and you have to be, and people, you have a social network. We're social Aristotle, right? So you need this community, or you get too wrapped up in yourself, and as we've learned, anime. Not anime, which is a Japanese cartoon type thing, and no name. You have no identity, right? And as a result, the scariest part of this, for at least what otherwise is a healthy person, strikes me as suicide. Because you're there with all these uncertain feelings, and at the same time, just totally focused on yourself with no help. Whoa, scary, right? On the other hand, if you keep going this way, you end up with typical immersion in fundamentalism, which is actually the happiest place on the map. And I put lots of folks there on subsequent maps, because if you're there, you know, no doubts, and you have your community, you have yourself. You're as humanly happy as possible up in this corner.
Doesn't most of the wisdom derive from whatever it is that you're like a part of, in that instance? mean, like, just like a wisdom gene.
This is loaded with basic wisdom here. But if you're an American and you're raised in a school system that plugs for uncertainty, because that goes with science. Science advances from funeral to funeral. I have a new theory. Boom, you destroy it with a better theory. And then we're looking forward to when that theory gets busted.